when we bought Ocean Melody, she came with no instruments whatsoever. They've been pilfered by people in the past. I bought these old ones off Mike, which is the ST60 kind of setup, and they've been working fine. And I originally bought one of these kind of just normal electrical enclosures from an electrical suppliers to house them in, to bolt them to the binnacle. It did the job absolutely fine and it's been working perfectly, but I want to make something a little bit prettier. I'm going to start just by taking this all apart and having a look at how I can make something a little bit prettier and a little bit more functional. While I'm building this console for the binnacle at the helm on Ocean Melody, I'm going to build it to fit the Orca system, which we've been sent. Orca, if you don't know, it's a navigational system that uses a tablet-based chart plotter. The only real difference between this and a built-in chart plotter is the fact that you can unclip this and walk around the boat with it. So I've got a standard Raymarine Axiom chart plotter. I've got paper charts and I'll never be without them. My paper charts, I'll always try and get paper charts for wherever we are. But the advantage of Orca is it's just like a normal chart plotter, except that you can unclip it and walk around the boat. The screen is ridiculously bright. I'll put the number of nits on the screen, but it's ridiculously bright, so you can see it in really bright sunlight, and of course it's completely waterproof. This isn't a complete tech spec. I'll put all the technical specification on the screen another time. So the kit comes with basically your screen, which is the Orca Display 2. It's also got the charging mount. You'll notice there's a wire coming off there, and that's a really funky clip on there. So once you've got your display in there and in position, it's locked in, you wire that up and that will now be charging. And then the third component to the system is this thing called the Orca Core. This is the Orca Core 2. It looks like a GPS, like you'd have with your normal chart plotter, but it's a lot more than that. It's got your compass and everything built in, and it's got connectivity for networking and for your NMEA networks and what have you. So I'm going to do the full install of this over possibly in this video, maybe next week's. But the first thing to do today is just to build the main binnacle, if you like, the console to go here at the wheel, which contains the Orca display. The other thing I'm going to put into that is the controls for the auto helm. Now, you don't actually need to, because you can control your autopilot from within Orca. Orca will do it, but I'm going to, because I just don't like the idea. I like the redundancy. That's what I mean. I don't like the idea of having all my eggs in one basket. So I'm going to have the Orca mounted there. I'm going to have my normal Raymarine autopilot there, and I'm going to have a compass built into it, a USB socket, and the push to talk for the VHF. So that's the plan. So just as before, I've got my pile of reclaimed timber over here. It's gradually getting smaller, which is good. And I've selected some pieces of teak that I'm going to use to make my instrument console, instrument cluster here. First thing I've got to do is clean it all up and get the old varnish and the muck off it. There's loads of different ways to mount this. Now, as I say, I'm going to mount it in a piece of timber, which I'm going to build into a console. And for that, they send you a fantastic template for drilling and cutting out. So that's going to be really, really handy. The other option that I considered going with is this, which I don't think I'm going to go with, although what would be really nice would be to have this mounted somewhere else so that I can put it in two different locations. So what this is, it's like a double ball joint system, so you can mount that, screw it down, and then you slacken off this, and the charging dock bolts to that look. So I may see about getting another charging dock on this and having it somewhere else in the boat so that I can charge it in 2 different positions, although that's kind of just a bit of overkill really. So for now I'm gonna start looking at where on my fascia plate on my front board do I want to mount the actual Orca display. Believe it or not, it's going dark here. It's like 3:30, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And it's going dark here because it's the UK. I've marked up with my drilling template from Orca. That's so handy having that. You can't see the other pencil marks because they're too faint, but I'm going to start cutting some holes in this piece of teak now. Open your present. Can we sit here? You got another present. Another big present. You're going to open it. What is it?
A bus.
Yeah, in a minute. But watch Jack. Watch Jack.
It's just a mastery. Doesn't look like a good book.
Well, that's interesting.
What is it?
Book. Slaves as a mastery.
Can we record a quick patron Merry Christmas to everyone?
Yeah.
Merry Christmas!
Merry Christmas!
What do you say, Ollie?
Merry Christmas.
Go silent in front of the camera. But no, we just wanted to wish you all a Merry Christmas. Thank you so much for all your wonderful support over the year and the previous years. We love you all so much and can't wait to share lots of new videos with you next year.
Merry Christmas, guys.
Merry
Bye.
Christmas.
Merry Christmas. More Christmas songs.
He has. Dinner, look at that.
Did the potatoes look glorious? So does that chicken stuff. Ollie, do it.
Cheers. He's going to want to do it all dinner. Yes, in 1 minute, Ollie, you can have orange juice. Mummy just needs sort of chicken. Yeah, you're going to have it all in a minute.
All of it? Crikey. Potato.
You're blowing it?
Yeah, you're doing.
It's not actually, I don't come out of it early. Yeah, that's stuffing. You had that earlier. You really liked that, didn't you?
Well done. Is Jack being silly?
Yeah.
Can you do a gorilla? Can you do Flappy Bird?
What does the penguin do?
Can you do penguin? Waddle. What does Ollie say?
Waddle, waddle.
Ollie says waddle waddle. And what does Jacob say?
Waddle.
Jacob says waddle.
Yeah.
No, Jacob sings. What does Jacob sing?
Yeah.
Moon River.
Yeah. Can you sing Moon River?
Do you want to put Moon River and sing?
Yeah.
Shall we put Moon River and see if you can sing?
River. Look. Little blue.
Moon River first and then Little Blue.
What's little blue?
In a minute.
In a minute, Moon River first.
River. River.
Yeah.
Crossing you inside someday.
Don't throw any of this away.
I won't.
Can you sing with Jacob? Ready? Yeah, he is in the sea. Right, we're going to go night-nights now. Bedtime. Hey, we can play with this tomorrow. Say night-night, Bus.
No, Mr. Bus.
Can you say night-night, Jack?
No. Ollie.
You like the pretty lights?
You do. Night-night.
No.
No.
Night-night, pretty light.
So here is the box that I was making earlier. It's it's finished really. I'm going to put a plinth here for a compass, so it's a little bit like the binnacles that you see on the Spirit yachts, picture on the screen. Now what have we got on here? We've got our Orca display, which I can just remove like this. So that's wired in and will charge from the charging pad here. And then I can just clip that in, and it's secure and waterproof, and the perfect navigation tool. I can control the autopilot from Orca, but I've also got my standard autopilot head unit here, so I've got the redundancy, and also I don't have to kind of flip screens. I can just use that. I've also got my USB-C and USB-A there, so if I want to I can clamp on a phone or something like that for media. I've got my handheld Icon radio there, and I've installed a whole new array of switches that are going to be for things like lights under here, so just kind of ambient lighting really. I'm not going to use those for the nav lights because I'm keeping up all of that kind of control stuff downstairs at the chart table, so this will just be kind of for living lights, you know, living quarters. So this isn't wired up yet, there's no cabling going to this, that's going to be the next stage of the project, but I really enjoyed making this. There's something else exciting happening now in this episode, which is something that we've been waiting for a few weeks. We actually picked this thing up a couple of weeks ago before Christmas, and we need to show it to you now. Now the thing I'm referring to is our bow roller, the anchor roller. We took it off a couple of weeks ago, if you remember, and sent it to Dave, who made our stainless diesel tank for the keel, and he modified it because the side cheeks were really thin and they were flexing, and it was just not long enough. It didn't extend far enough away, so the tip of our anchor was digging into the bow. Have a look at this. This is what we've picked up, and he's basically made us a new one. This is our new anchor roller. It's an absolute beast. Look at this. Polished brass rollers, which I think came out of our original one. It's just incredible. Absolutely incredible. I'm going to have to put it down because I don't want to drop it overboard, but we're going to be doing a test fit on this morning. I still need to make some spreader plates to go in the anchor locker, but we're going to test fit that now. Now, I don't want to drop this in the water, so I'm going to tie it to something so I don't drop it in the water. Now, I had thought about tying it to myself, but I think that's a bad idea. So I'm not going to tie it to myself, but I am going to tie it to the boat, so if I drop it, it doesn't plummet to the bottom. Because I don't think Dave will be very happy with me if I drop this to the bottom of the marina now, would he? Now, when I got this back, I said to Dave, oh, I'll probably have to trim the teak cheeks to make sure that it slides in, because obviously the new metal on the cheeks of the bow roller is a lot thicker than what was on there before. And he said, no, I've gone to great lengths to make sure it's the same width as the original. So hopefully this will fit. The only thing that might get in the way, of course, is the old Sikaflex. Today, we're just doing a test fit to see how it looks. I'm going to take it off again, fix the gel coat chips, and get off the old Sikaflex and that kind of stuff before we do a final fit. So this is just a test fit to see how it looks, and I'm sure it's going to look amazing. Just pulled the boat forward so that we're overhanging the pontoon. I'm just going to pull it a bit further, and that way if we drop anything, it isn't actually going to go in the water anyway. That'll do, and I'll just cleat it off. And then afterwards, of course, we'll move it back so that we're not going to, be a hindrance to people walking on the pontoon. But it's these little gel coat scratches that I want to fix before we do the final, fit and seal.
Dun, dun, dun. Hold the boat.
Yeah. That's better, that's kinder. That is a perfect fit. Oh my goodness.
Wow, look at that.
So I've got nuts and bolts, brand spanking new, 316 nuts, bolts and washers. I'll show you them. These are 316 marine grade countersunk hex head, and I've got nylock nuts to go on the back with big penny washers. But what I'm going to do is today I'm going to use normal nuts, because it's going to be coming back off again for us to do the gel coat repair. So I'm going to use normal nuts today, and then I've got to make some stainless spreader plates to go on the inside, because the old one was bolted on with tiny little washers. It was awful. They're tight. I could open up the holes in the fiberglass a fraction more, but I don't think we need to. I think they're just a very snug fit. And of course, the holes have still got some old sealant in, which we'll clean out. I'll just run a drill bit through before we do the final fit and finish.
This is incredible, isn't it? It looks amazing.
Absolutely incredible. David, we just can't thank you enough for this. Yeah, some of the holes are slightly larger. So that's the other thing. There was a bit of a mishmash of different bolts even in the old one. It couldn't be more perfect.
When your chain's moving around, that's not going anywhere, is it?
What was happening with the old one is these side cheeks were literally flexing.
Yeah, even in like 5 knots of wind, just as the boat was moving.
That's right. As we were changing direction with the wind, the chain was pulling and it was flexing these side cheeks. Right, put the ones up through the stem. Can you see these little gouges in the gel coat. They're not bad.
Some of that was us getting the old one off.
Yeah. Well, no. That was these gouges were just from the tip of the old anchor.
Yeah, of course.
And yeah, so you'll have to wait until I'm inside to do those because they'll just drop out.
Yeah.
Try the next one. That'll probably go in once the first one's. Yeah, once the angle's right.
Yeah,
They'll all go. I'll go in the chain locker now to put some nuts and washers on the back, and Melissa's going to use the Allen key and bolt these up. I need to tidy all this up, but it's in my pocket. So you look amazing, by the way. Right, give me a second to get in there.
The reason I'm not in boatwork clothes is because we're just getting ready to go away for a few days for Andy's birthday. My cousin has kindly lent us her holiday cottage, which is nearby to the boat, and we're going to have Andy's a New Year's Eve baby, so we're going to have a bit of a New Year's Eve get together with Andy's daughter and her husband. So we're just getting ready to go away, but we wanted to put this on and check that it fitted before we left the boat. And it's beautiful. Love it. Also, the amazing thing is, while this has been made, the forestay is normally attached to this, and that's been off, and it's been cleated up on the deck, and we've had lots of lines on it. But it's just amazing how sturdy a keel step mast is, because we went through the storm the other day that you would have seen in last week's video without our forestay attached properly. Obviously we had all the other rigging up and it was tied down in plenty of places, but for a little while we were like, oh, this could be bad. And Andy was like, no, it's absolutely fine. But it will be nice and nice to have it back on, because then we can go out. Tell me when you've got the spanner on. Okay. Okay. Last one at the top. I wouldn't put the others in yet. I wouldn't put the others in yet, because we're going to take it off anyway. So we're not going to put the other two in. I'm talking to camera. We're not going to put the other two in because we're going to be taking it off in in a week, and doing these gel coat repairs and fitting it properly with the right sealant and stuff like that. And obviously we don't want to gall up the threads on these bolts, and it's just to keep it in place. We know it fits, which is the main thing, and it looks incredible.
So this boat just keeps getting better and better and better.
Yeah.
And it's
an amazing upgrade to the boat.
This is just wild.
Yeah, we're so happy with it.
Dave, can't thank you enough, mate.
Yeah.
It's just like the fuel tank and then this. It's just good.
Yeah, it's incredible. Amazing, amazing, amazing. And we're so happy. We can't wait to fit it properly and get the roller furler reattached and the anchor on and go and test it out.
Absolutely. So as I say, that was just a test fit to see how it looks. Coming up will be, I'll be taking it off. I'll be making spreader plates for the inside in stainless, fitting it and sealing it and making it, finalising it, but and obviously putting the roller reefing back on, which will be nice. Although I'm really happy that in those wild storms we had.
I was just saying earlier that I was like, and you were like, no, it's fine, and fine. The mast didn't move.
The mast didn't move, and we'd got the forestay attached to the forward cleat, and it worked fine, which has given us huge confidence in the rig. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the episode.
Yeah, I was going to say, coming up next week, lots of people have asked, they don't understand the layout of our boat. We're going to be doing a inside boat tour of the boat. Yes.
Is that next week's episode?
That's next week's episode. We're going to
news to me.
Yeah, well, I thought we agreed.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine.
We're doing an inside tour of the boat from bow to stern, so you can see how it's laid out and what it looks like currently.
Brilliant. Cheers,
See you
guys.
next week.
See you next time.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye.